Hello everyone, welcome to Dikshant classes. Today I am going to discuss about the reliability and validity. Under it I will discuss about the features of reliability, continue the features. Research can be primary or secondary. Here the question lies, what is primary? Primary, which is the first hand information which is collected by the researcher himself. Secondary research which involve the information gathered originally by the primary research. Primary research is based on raw data. Secondary research is based on analysis and interpretation of information. Primary research is carried out by the researcher himself. Secondary research is carried out by someone else. Primary research is specified to the need of the researcher. Secondary research may or may not be specific to the needs of the researcher. Primary research involve process. Secondary research involve rapid and easy. Primary research cost is high. Secondary research cost is low. Primary research is very long processed, and where secondary research is short processed. Next is free from personal biases. Researchers strives to be objective and logical, applying every possible test to validate the procedures, employed the data to collect and conclusion and reached. The research attempted to eliminate personal biases, and there is no attempt to persuade to prove emotionally held convictions. Next is type of biases in research. Information bias, researcher bias, interview bias, response bias, publication bias, selection bias, cognitive bias. Information bias. Information bias is also called measurement bias. Arise when the study variables inaccurately measured or classified. Information bias occur during the data collection process, and it is a step is common in research. And in studies that involved the self-reporting and respectiveness, it means it depends on the information, how the information will be presented, expressed in front of some public at large. It involves the results from poor interviewing techniques or the different level of the recall from participants. Next is interviewer bias. Interviewer bias items from the persons conducting the research study. It can result from the way the ask questions and receive responses, but also include any aspects identity such as their sex, ethnicity, social class, or perceived attractiveness. Next is publication bias. Publication bias is occurred when the decision to publish the research findings is based on the nature and directions of the results. Study reporting results that perceived as a positive, statistically significant, or favoring the study hypothesis are more likely to be published due to publication bias. Next is researcher bias. Researcher bias occurs when the researcher's beliefs or expectations influence the research design or data collection process. It means that the researcher bias is occur when the researcher belief or expectations influence the research design or data collection processes. Next is response bias. Response bias means where the respondent tend to provide inaccurate or false answer to the self-reported questions, such as those questions in the surveys or structured interviews. Next is selection bias. Selection bias is a general term describing the situations where bias is introduced in the research. from the factor affecting the study population. The common type of selection bias are sampling or ascertainment, attribution bias, selection bias, survivorship bias, non-response bias, undercoverage bias. Next is cognitive bias. Cognitive bias refers to a set of predictables, non-random errors in thinking that arise from our limited ability to process information objectively. Rather, our judgment is influenced by values, the memories, and other personal traits. These creates mental shortcuts that can help to the process information and to decide faster. It means that it is a set of errors in thinking that arise our limited ability to process information. Cognitive means how the person will gain information, how we think and analyze, interpret the information logically. Next is research require expertise. While conducting the research, it requires some skills and require expertise to do a research, to carry out the investigations, search related to the literature and to understand the data gathered. Next is credibility. Credibility is one of the important measures of the truth and the value of the qualitative research, or whether the studies findings are correct and accurate. To some degree, it relies on the credibility of the researchers themselves and research method. Credibility is one of the important source to measure whether the research is the truth and whether they represent the actual people or not. Results are good, results are genuine or not. Next is replicables. Research is replicable when independent group of the researchers can copy the same process and arrive at the same result as the original study. Hence, is establishing the validity. For some example, if someone conducting the experiment A at arriving the conclusion B, and you attempt to replicate the experiment but end up with the conclusion C, the experiment is not replicable. This is closely related to the idea of empirical generalization. And there are three key aspects of the concept of replicability. A finding of being replicated, the independent group, and the use of valid and the different methods. Next is difference between accuracy and prescriptions. Accuracy refers to the level of agreement between the actual measurement and absolute measurement. Prescription implies the level of variation in the lies in the values of several measurement or the of same factors. Represent how closely results agree with the standard values. How closely results agree with the one others. It means that how closely results are agree with the standard value. In prescription, how closely results are agree with one another. It is a degree of conformity, it is a degree of reproducibility. It is depend on single factor, it depends on multiple factors. It is a measure of statistical biases, it is a measure of statistical validity. It is a systematic error, it is random error. Next is logical. Research must be logical. It should not be illogical things. It should have logic. Any reason for everything you have to put in the research. Otherwise, it is not a research. It is just copy from other. If you are copy from others, what you are going to new in your research? What are innovation? What is the novelty in your research? Next is rigorous. Research must be scrupulous in ensuring that the procedure to follow to find the answers and justified it. Again, the degree of rigorous was markedly between the physical and social sciences and within the social sciences. Next is correlation and causation. Correlation is a statistical measure and expresses the number as a number, and that describe the size and direction of relationships between the two or more variables. A correlation between variables, however, does not automatically mean that the change in one variable as a cause of the change in value of other variables. Causation. Causation indicate that the one event is the result of the occurrences of the other events. There is a causal relationship between the two events, and this is also referred cause and effect. Next is what is the basic difference between correlation and causation. A statistical measures way to measure the relationship between two set of data. With causation means that one thing will cause the other. Independent variable is a cause for the dependent variable results. Means that both things are observed at the same time in the correlations. It's the existence of different variables. For example, cause good social relationships lead to the longer life, and it lead to better health. Like in correlation, healthier people have a social relationships, better social relationships, and also live longer. If there is a better health, there is a good social relationship and longer life. It is false correlation. If the laptop is run out of batteries, causation is computer shut, and other video player would not work. If the laptop is run out of battery is low, then its causation is shut down. In the same time, video player would not work. For the correlation is computer shut or video player does not work. Next is controlled. In real life, there are many factors that affects the outcomes. The concept of the control implies that exploring causality relation to two variables factors. You set your study in a way that you minimize the effect of other factor affecting the relationship. This can be achieved to the large extent to the physical sciences. It is the most research done in a laboratory. Means if we are doing a for example, if we are conducting research on COVID vaccine on the people, then peoples are live in the lab where the conditions are controlled, the situations are controlled, and see that what is the control after the vaccination is taken, is there any good result or negative, then only it put to the large public at large in their websites. Next is difference between reliability and validity. Is it validity implies to the extent to which the researcher measure what is intended to measure, whether researchers actually measure what they want to measure. Reliability refers to the degree to the scale produced consistent result when the repeatedly measurement are made. If we are conducting the experiment, see CO2 H2O plus CO2, then give the H2O, it means it will the same results. It is a reliability. A valid instrument is reliable in the validity. A reliable instrument need not be valid instrument. Validity has accuracy, where reliability is precision. Validity has more value, where reliability is comparatively less value. It is very difficult to assess the validity, and it is very easy to assess the reliability. Next is cyclic in nature. Cycling in research is a continuous process. It never stops if one time research is completed. First we are planning by identifying the information, plan what we are going to research, then identify information organizing, then acting on it, trialing the collecting questioning, then observe it by and then analyze the reporting and sharing, then reflect it in research, then evaluate the interpretation and implementing and reviewing. It is also called action research, where the researchers should take action according to the problem faces. For example, if some Delhi University has a different problem Where the Jamia University had different problem, they are acting according to their problem, their situations where they faced the in day-to-day operations. It is also called plan, act, observe, reflect, power. Next is generability. Generability means apply to the larger population, larger studies. It is called generalized on the basis of some studies, some results. Next is critical. Critical scrutiny of the procedures is used to the method employed is critical to research inquiry. The process of investigation must be foolproof and free from the drawbacks. The process adopted and the procedures used must be able to withstand critical scrutiny. Next is patient research require patience. It cannot be done in a hurry. You have to think patiently and think if anything goes wrong, you have to think patiently and take action accordingly. If results are then consult the expertise who in the field said if the something is not understood and cleared. Next is task to discover, develop and verify knowledge. Research is an endeavor to discovering the developed and verify knowledge. The replication of the study is therefore build a good sound basis for knowledge and decisions for the researchers. Thank you so much for listening carefully. If you have any doubt, any query, you can comment it. I will surely make video. Please like, subscribe and share my channel.